Hi everyone, welcome to our physics class. Today I am starting a fifth chapter. The name of the chapter is Magnetism and Matter. The duration of this chapter is 8 hours, and in this chapter it is possible to ask 7 marks. Okay, well, let's start today's class. First, let us discuss about the meaning of magnet. So, a magnet is a material. A magnet is a material that has both attractive and directive properties. Actually, there is a meaning of magnet. Magnet is a material that has both attractive and directive properties. Okay, magnet is a material that has both attractive property. It means each and every magnet attracts small pieces of iron, nickel, cobalt, steel. Look at this animation. Actually, your magnet attracts the small pieces of iron, nickel, cobalt, steel. So the attraction property, actually that is called magnetism. So, and magnet has the directive property. So if a magnetic needle is pivoted freely, it will always comes to rest along geographical north and geographical south direction. So what is the meaning of magnet? Magnet is a material that has both attractive and directive property. The attractive property of magnet is called magnetism. The attractive property of magnet is called magnetism. So the magnesia, that is the origin of the word magnetism. Magnesia is the origin of the word. Magnesia is the origin of the word magnetism. Okay. So there are two very important types of magnet. Is there? One is the natural magnets, and another one is the artificial magnets. Natural magnets are weak and have inconvenient shape. Natural magnets are weak magnets and have inconvenient shape. Artificial magnets can be made much more stronger. Artificial magnets can be made much more stronger than the natural magnets and also of any convenient shape and size. Okay, what is the meaning of magnet? A magnet is a material that has both attractive and directive property. The attraction property of magnet is called magnetism. Okay, magnesia is the origin of the word magnetism. So there are two types of magnets. One is natural magnets and another one is artificial magnets. Natural magnets are weak magnets and have inconvenient shape. Artificial magnets can be made much more stronger, much more stronger than the natural magnet. So examples for artificial magnets. One is Bohr magnet. The Bohr magnet is an example for artificial magnet. So Bohr magnet is the simplest form of a magnet, which is either rectangular or cylindrical in shape. What is the meaning of Bohr magnet? Any rectangular or cylindrical object, any rectangular or cylindrical object that has a magnetic field. Okay, what is the meaning of magnetic field? Magnetic field means the space around the magnet, the space or region around the magnet within which its influence can be experienced by the magnetic materials. Okay, that is the meaning of magnetic field. Any material that has a magnetic field, so that is called a magnet. Okay, what is the meaning of magnetic field? Magnetic field means the space around the magnet, the region around the magnet within which its influence, that means magnet influence, that can be experienced by the magnetic materials. Okay, so what is the meaning of Bohr magnet? Any rectangular or cylindrical object, any rectangular or cylindrical object that has a magnetic field. Any rectangular or cylindrical object that has a magnetic field is known as a Bohr magnet. A Bohr magnet has two poles, North Pole and South Pole. Okay, so another examples for artificial magnets, that is horseshoe magnet. Horse, what is this? Horseshoe magnet. Even magnetic needle. So this is also the example for artificial magnet. So what is this? Magnetic needle. Okay. So magnetic needle, that is also the example for artificial magnet. So natural magnets or weak magnets and have inconvenient shape. Artificial magnets can be made much more stronger than the natural magnet, and also of any convenient shape and size. For example, Bohr magnet. What is the meaning of Bohr magnet? Any rectangular or cylindrical object that has a magnetic field. What is the meaning of magnetic field? The space around the magnet within which its influence can be experienced by the magnetic material. Okay, so any rectangular or cylindrical object that has a magnetic field, that is called the Bohr magnet, and it has two poles, North Pole and South Pole. And another example is horseshoe magnet, and one more example, that is the magnetic needle. The magnetic needle. So these are the examples for artificial magnet. Okay, after that, let us discuss about the basic properties of magnet. Basic properties of magnets. Number one, the first very important property, that is attractive property. That means each and every magnet attracts what? The small pieces of iron, nickel, cobalt, steel, etc. So usually the attraction is maximum near the ends of the magnet. Okay, so actually those ends are called the poles. That is magnetic poles. Poles means magnetic poles are regions near the ends, not exactly the end, near the ends. Magnetic poles are regions near the two ends of magnet with maximum power of attraction. Okay, each and every magnet attracts the small pieces of iron, nickel, cobalt, steel. The attraction is maximum near the two ends of the magnet. Those ends are called every magnet has two poles. One is North Pole and another one is South Pole. And the next very important property, that is directive property. So when the Bohr magnet is suspended freely, okay, when a Bohr magnet is suspended freely, what happens? It will always come to rest along geographical north-south direction. When a Bohr magnet is suspended freely, it will always come to rest along geographical north-south direction. The pole of the magnet which points towards geographical north is called north seeking or north pole of magnet. So actually here this is the north pole of Bohr magnet. So the pole of magnet which points towards geographical south, that is the south pole of a Bohr magnet. When a Bohr magnet is suspended freely on the surface of Earth, what happens? When Bohr magnet is suspended freely, it will always come to rest along geographical north and geographical south direction. The pole of magnet which points towards geographical north, that is actually north seeking. Seeking is attraction. Okay, that is north seeking or simply the north pole of Bohr magnet. And the pole of magnet which points towards geographical south is called south seeking or south pole of Bohr magnet. Okay. Suppose when a magnetic needle is pivoted freely, what happens? It will also comes to rest. Look at this animation here. So what is this? The magnetic needle that is pivoted freely. So what happens? It will come to rest along geographical north and south direction. So the pole of magnetic needle which points towards geographical north, that is north seeking, that is north pole of magnetic needle. The pole of magnetic needle which points towards geographical south, that is south seeking, that is called the south pole of magnetic needle. Okay, actually here this is the north pole. Okay, this one is the south pole of magnetic needle. The next property, the law of magnetic poles. The like poles repel, unlike poles attract each other. That is actually the law of magnetic poles. It means two north poles or two south poles repels with each other. But a north pole and a south pole, or a south pole and a north pole, attracts with each other. Look at this animation here. So north pole, south pole attracts, south pole, north pole attracts with each other. But a south pole repels with each other. Even a north pole repels with each other. That means two like poles repels. Is it not? Like poles repels with each other. Unlike poles attracts with each other. Okay, this is the law of magnetic poles. What is the law of magnetic poles? It is very simple. Like poles repels. Like poles repels with each other. Unlike poles attracts with each other. Like poles repels with each other. Unlike poles attract with each other. And this is the law of magnetic poles. Okay. The next property, that is magnetic poles always exist in pairs. That means the poles of a magnet can never be separated. The poles, is North Pole and South Pole of a magnet. Okay, North Pole and South Pole of a magnet can never be separated. If a magnet is cut into two pieces, each piece, each piece is a magnet with two poles. Okay, look at this diagram. If a magnet is cut into two pieces, what happens? Each piece actually just behaves like a magnet, again with two poles. Suppose if this piece is cut again into two pieces, so again the two pieces is just behaves like a magnet with two poles. That means magnetic poles can never be separated. Magnetic monopoles do not exist. Magnetic monopoles, that means South Pole only, North Pole only, do not exist. Okay, magnetic poles, it means South Pole and the North Pole, always exist in pair. Magnetic monopoles do not exist. Okay, magnetic poles always exist in pairs. Magnetic poles can never be separated. Magnetic poles can never be separated. And the next property, that is magnetic induction. So usually a magnet induces the magnetism. Magnet induces magnetism. That means attraction property. What is the meaning of magnetism? Attraction property, right? Attraction property of magnetic material. That is called the magnetism. Okay. So what is this? A Bohr magnet. So this is a needle. Okay. So here a magnet induces the magnetism. Okay. Magnet induces the magnetism. Magnet induces magnetism in a magnetic substance if it is placed near the magnet. Okay. So this is a magnetic substance. This is a needle. It is made from iron. Okay. The nail, it is made from iron. If it is placed near the Bohr magnet, so what happens? Magnetism induces in this substance. Magnetism induces in this substance. That means this substance attracts another needle, another nail. Okay, actually, this property is called the magnetic induction. The magnetic induction means a magnet induces magnetism. Magnet induces magnetism in a magnetic substance placed near the magnet. A magnet induces magnetism. Magnet induces magnetism in a magnetic substance if it is placed near the magnet. This phenomena is called magnetic induction. Okay. So after that, now let us discuss about some very important definitions connected with magnetism. Some very important definitions connected with magnetism. The first very important definition, that is magnetic field. So what is the meaning of magnetic field? The space around the magnet, space or region around the magnet within which its influence can be experienced by magnetic material. Okay, that is the meaning of magnetic field, or simply the space around the magnet, space or region around the magnet in which a test magnet will experience the force. What is the meaning of electric field? The space around the source charge, space or region around the source charge in which a test charge will experience the force. It is electric field, right? Magnetic field means the space around the magnet, the space or region around the magnet in which a test magnet will experience a force, or the space around the magnet within which its influence can be experienced. It's called magnetic field. So the next term is uniform magnetic field. So when a magnetic field in a region is said to be uniform, a magnetic field in a region is said to be uniform if it has same magnitude and direction at all points of that region. Okay, look at this diagram. Actually, this is uniform magnetic field. A uniform magnetic field acting in the plane. A uniform magnetic field here acting in the plane of the diagram, plane of the screen. Okay, so that is represented by equidistant parallel lines. A uniform magnetic field acting in the plane is represented by, plane of the diagram is represented by equidistant parallel lines. Actually here, let us consider some observation points. Okay, for example, this is point A, this one is point B, this one is point C. Suppose at point A, the magnetic field is 1 Tesla and the direction is from left to right. So what about the magnetic field at point B? That is also 1 Tesla. Direction is again from left to right. So here is also the magnetic field is 1 Tesla, that is directed from left to right. So when the magnetic field in region is said to be uniform, if it has same magnitude, and same directions at all points of that region. Magnetic field is said to be uniform if it has same magnitude and same direction at all points of that region. That is called the uniform magnetic field. Okay, this is uniform magnetic field acting in the plane of the screen, plane of the diagram, that is represented by equidistant parallel lines. Okay, so another kind of representation. Look at this diagram. Actually, this is uniform perpendicular magnetic field. That means a uniform magnetic field acting perpendicular to the plane of the diagram. Uniform magnetic field acting perpendicular to the plane of the screen, plane of the diagram. This is the plane, right? Okay, this is a uniform magnetic field acting perpendicular to the plane of the diagram and directed. What is the direction of magnetic field? That is very important. Okay, directed inwards, directed into the plane. Okay, crosses represents direction of magnetic field into the plane. So what is this? A uniform magnetic field acting perpendicular to the plane of the diagram and directed inwards, normally inwards, directed into the plane of the screen, directed into the plane of the diagram. Okay, is represented by crosses. Represented by what? Crosses. And this is also a uniform magnetic field acting perpendicular to the plane of the diagram and directed normally outwards. Directed normally outwards is represented by dots. A uniform magnetic field acting perpendicular to the plane of the diagram and directed normally outwards, is represented by dots. Okay, this is about the different kinds of representation of uniform magnetic field. When a magnetic field in a region is said to be uniform, if it has same magnitude and same direction at all points of that region. What is the meaning of magnetic field? Space or region around a magnet within which its influence can be experienced. Okay, the next term, that is the magnetic poles. Magnetic poles. That means poles of magnet or regions near the two ends of magnet. Magnetic poles are simply poles of magnet or regions near the two ends of magnet with maximum power of attraction. That is the meaning of magnetic poles. The meaning of magnetic poles. Poles of magnet or regions. Okay, magnetic poles or regions. Poles of magnet or regions near the two ends of magnet with maximum power of attraction. Look at this animation. Okay, so here the attraction is maximum. Near the ends, the attraction is maximum. Okay, these are the poles of magnet. Okay, the next term is magnetic axis. First, here let us consider Bohr magnet. What is the meaning of Bohr magnet? The meaning of Bohr magnet: a rectangular or cylindrical object that has a magnetic field is called Bohr magnet. It has two poles, south pole and north pole. Okay, and a line passing through the poles is called the magnetic axis. Okay, so this is a line passing through the poles of a Bohr magnet is called the magnetic axis. Okay, it is always directed from south pole to north pole. This point is very, very important. So direction of dipole axis. Okay, so that is always from south pole to north pole. Okay, and the next term, that is magnetic equator. What is the meaning of magnetic equator? Magnetic equator means a line passing through the center of magnet and perpendicular to the magnetic axis. A line passing through the center of magnet and perpendicular to the magnetic axis, that is called the magnetic equator. A line passing through the center of Bohr magnet and perpendicular to the magnetic axis, that is called the magnetic equator. Point on the magnetic axis, that is end on position. Point on the magnetic equator, that is actually a broadside on position. Okay, so next term is magnetic strength. So magnetic strength means the strength of magnetic pole. The strength of a magnetic pole is called the magnetic pole strength. What is the meaning of pole strength? The strength of the pole, the strength of the magnetic pole. Okay, that is called the pole strength. The pole strength of North Pole is plus Qm. So this is also called a magnetic charge. The pole strength of South Pole is minus Qm. So this is the representation. This is very important. The minus Qm represents the pole strength of South Pole. Plus Qm represents the pole strength of North Pole. Pole strength of North Pole is plus Qm. Pole strength of South Pole is minus Qm. Pole strength, that is also called the magnetic charge. Symbolic representation is Qm. Qm. Okay. And the next term, that is magnetic length. So magnetic length means the distance between two poles of a magnet. Okay, what is this? Bohr magnet. What is the meaning of Bohr magnet? Any rectangular or cylindrical object that has a magnetic field. So each and every Bohr magnet has two poles, North Pole and South. The distance between two poles of a magnet is called magnetic length. It is slightly less. Magnetic length is slightly less than the geometrical length. Magnetic length is slightly less than the geometrical length. Okay, so it is found that magnetic length is found that magnetic length divided by geometric length, that is 0.84. Okay, so the distance from South Pole to North Pole, that is actually 12. This is 12. 12 is the magnetic length. It is always directed from South Pole to North Pole. Okay, distance from South Pole to North Pole is the magnetic length. It is 2L. Okay, it is a vector. It is directed from South Pole to North Pole. Okay, so what is the distance from O to S? That is L. O to N, that is also L. Okay, the next very important term, that is magnetic dipole. So magnetic dipole is an arrangement of two equal and opposite poles separated by a small distance. It is very simple. An arrangement of two equal and opposite magnetic poles separated by a small distance is called magnetic dipole. For example, every Bohr magnet, every Bohr magnet is a magnetic dipole. Okay, every Bohr magnet is a magnetic dipole. A current carrying loop. Okay, a current carrying loop behaves as a magnetic dipole. Okay, current carrying loop behaves as a magnetic dipole, right? The phase of the current loop in which current flows clockwise direction, so that phase is behaves like south pole. The phase of the loop in which current flows anti-clockwise direction, that phase is just behaves like north pole. That means current loop has two poles separated by very small distance, right? That means current loop is just behaves as a magnetic dipole. So every Bohr magnet is a magnetic dipole because Bohr magnet has two poles separated by a small distance. That is actually called the magnetic dipole length, right? And even an atom acts as a magnetic dipole. That is due to the circulatory motion of electrons around its nucleus. Is it not? Even an atom acts as a magnetic dipole due to circulatory motion of electrons around its nucleus. Okay, what is the magnetic dipole moment of electron revolving around the nucleus? That is mu L is equal to minus E divided by 2m into L. Is it not? So even an atom acts as a magnetic dipole due to the circulatory motion of electrons around its nucleus. So these are the examples of magnetic dipole. So magnetic dipole is an arrangement of two equal and opposite magnetic poles separated by a small distance. An arrangement of two equal and opposite magnetic poles separated by a small distance is called a magnetic dipole. Okay. And the next term is magnetic dipole moment. The magnetic dipole moment of the magnetic dipole is defined as the product of its pole strength and magnetic length. Okay, what is this? A Bohr magnet. What is the meaning of Bohr magnet? Any rectangular or cylindrical object that has a magnetic field. Each and every Bohr magnet has two poles, south pole and north pole. The strength of pole is called pole strength. Pole strength of north pole is plus qm. Pole strength of south pole is minus qm. So what is the meaning of magnetic dipole moment? Magnetic dipole moment symbolic representation is small m. This is the vector physical quantity. The direction of magnetic dipole moment that is same as that of the direction of dipole axis. It is always directed from south pole to north pole. So here small m represents magnetic dipole moment. Plus qm represents pole strength of north pole. Minus qm represents pole strength of south pole. Okay, what is the meaning of magnetic dipole moment? That is the product of pole strength and the magnetic length. Magnetic length is 2L vector. Okay, it is always directed from south to north direction. Magnetic dipole moment is always directed from south to north direction. This is magnetic dipole moment of a Bohr magnet. So what is the magnetic dipole moment of current loop? Magnetic dipole moment of current loop is the product of current in the loop and the area of the loop. So what is the SI unit of magnetic dipole moment? This is also very important. The SI unit of magnetic dipole moment is, the current is measured in terms of ampere, area is measured in terms of meter square. So what is the SI unit of pole strength? SI unit of pole strength or the magnetic charge. Okay, so pole strength Qm is equal to magnetic dipole moment divided by the magnetic length. So magnetic dipole moment magnetic dipole moment unit is ampere meter square. Okay, magnetic dipole moment unit is ampere meter square, and the dipole length unit is meter. 1 meter, meter get cancelled. Okay, so the SI unit of pole strength is SI unit of pole strength is ampere meter. Okay, ampere meter is the SI unit of pole strength. SI unit of magnetic dipole moment is ampere meter square. Okay, so pole strength is scalar, but magnetic dipole moment is a vector physical quantity. It is always directed from south to north direction. Okay, thank you.